'Tis I. Hey everyone, glad to see you back. Glad to see you looking fresh. Next week, we finally all get to sit down and watch The Suicide Squad, whether in theaters, whether at home, whatever you're doing. So I like to sit here and predict who's going to make it out of this thing, who's going to be there at the end, who's going to be able to continue on in DC movies going forward, and who is going to get, So, I'm going to disclaimer right here. I have not seen the movie yet. I know some people have been lucky enough to see it. I have not. This is just my predictions as a fan of DC, as a fan of some of these characters, as a film fan, and I want to be able to see if my predictions stack up and who's going to make it out. So, that being said, I guess a minor spoiler warning. Some characters are going to die. The movie's called The Suicide Squad, so if you didn't figure that out already, I'm here to break the news to you, I guess. Odds are I'll get some of these predictions right. I'm going to go through the entire list of characters that are part of the team, whatever, and go through who I think will make it out, who I think is going to die, based on a number of factors that we'll get into per each character. I'm going to go in list of the excellent teaser trailer we got back at the DC Fandom last year. So yeah, let's just jump right into this thing. Starting off with Amanda Waller, the puppet master, the one doing all the behind-the-scenes work, everything. She's fine. There's no way Amanda Waller is going to die in this. That's the surest bet I have on here that Amanda Waller is going to be okay. Next up, Rick Flag, the on-the-ground leader of the group, the commander, the one in charge, all of that. He was in the last Suicide Squad movie, and the same actor and all of that. I think he's going to be totally fine as well. I don't think that they're going to kill off Rick Flag, especially because he's not really a character that's known outside of the Suicide Squad that much. He's pretty much the leader of this group, and he's working right alongside Amanda Waller more than for her, so I think Rick Flag he's going to be okay. I think if you're a big Rick Flag fan, I think you're good. Next up is Savant, Michael Rooker's character. I think that this is our first death. Not the first in the movie, per se, but I don't think Savant's making it out of this. And for a reason that has nothing to do with comics, I think that if we look at other properties that James Gunn and Michael Rooker have worked with, James Gunn's not afraid to kill Michael Rooker. I guess spoilers for a movie that's like a couple years old at this point, but kind of vague, so you might not know. I think Savant's not going to make it. I think Savant's a pretty easy pick for our first death here. Javelin. I don't know much about Javelin as a character. I don't think he'll make it in this movie. I think it'll be really cool to introduce the world to a lesser-known character like this, and I think that they're going to kill him probably pretty quickly. I don't think Javelin's going to make it. I don't really know much about him. I've looked him up, and honestly, I don't remember what I looked up. I don't think Javelin's going to be one of the ones to finish the fight here. Next up is a big one, and Harley Quinn. So Harley Quinn is probably the toughest one to talk about because she's kind of the center point of the story. Even though, she kind of shouldn't be. She kind of is. She has been before in Suicide Squad movies. She's probably the most famous Suicide Squad member. Because of that, a lot of her stories either wrap around this, wrap around the Joker, Batman, whatever. I think that she might die in this one. I think if anyone has, it in them to kill Harley Quinn, it's going to be James Gunn. It's going to be this movie. If anyone's going to be brave enough to pull it off. Because if you can believe it, Margot Robbie's been Harley Quinn for 5 years already. It's been 5 years since the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, and they haven't done a whole heck of a lot with her. She had her own movie, but it wasn't even her own movie. It was a Birds of Prey movie, too, and it's been a bumpy ride. So I think she might be done with it. I don't know. I don't know Margot Robbie personally, but I think it might be a fair bet that this might be her last outing as Harley Quinn. So that's my biggest coin toss here, is I think Harley Quinn is going to die. That's my biggest risk I'm taking on this one. But I don't think she'll make it out. Polkadot Man. I think Polkadot Man will make it. Why do I think Polkadot Man will make it? I don't know. I think he's just weird enough, but yet just normal enough that where he can make it out and everyone's not going to be really confused why he was able to pull it off. And I feel like he's the kind of character that wants to go, so he won't. It'll be like a bitter irony kind of thing. Ratcatcher 2 is another character I don't know a whole heck of a lot about. The trailers kind of portray her and the next character we're talking about is kind of like really buddy-buddy. So I think she might make it out for reasons I'll talk about more with the next character. I think that she is going to be one of the few that do end up finishing the fight. But anyway, we'll jump right to the next character then, which is Bloodsport. So Bloodsport and Ratcatcher 2, and the trailers seem to go pretty hand in hand, and I know Bloodsport has a daughter in this, and I think that their daughter-father relationship could play a little bit into it. I think that Bloodsport will either sacrifice himself for Ratcatcher 2, or Ratcatcher 2 will die, and Bloodsport will go ballistic and die anyways. I don't think Bloodsport's going to make it out. I think him being the surrogate leader, like Deadshot and was in the last one, I don't think it matters much. I think he's going to be the one to sacrifice himself in this movie. So I think Bloodsport is going to die, and I will say Ratcatcher is going to live. King Shark, my boy. Oh, I hope he doesn't die. I love King Shark. I love him in every portrayal he's been in. I loved him in the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War movie, that King Shark is a shark. I loved him in the Suicide Squad movie, which is the Batman Assault on Arkham animated movie. This movie is really good. If you hated the 2016 Suicide Squad movie, check this one out before the new one, or after the new one if you want more Suicide Squad stuff. This movie's really good. And I loved him in that. I loved him in the Harley Quinn show. So, I want him to make it out. I've been a big supporter of King Shark. When I saw him in this trailer last year, I was so excited. I have such a fear that he will die, and I'm going to play my cards in my favor on this one. I'm going to say King Shark makes it out. For one other reason other than just my own hopes is that we have an Aquaman sequel coming out, and I think King Shark is a great villain to have in an Aquaman sequel, especially since we've already used Black Manta and Orm. King Shark is right there. And we are already going to be established to him. He's great. You can make him super smart in this one, even though he doesn't look smart in this one. Like, he's perfect. I love King Shark. Please don't die. Please don't die, King Shark. Mongul. Interesting thing about Mongul, I think she's going to, like, turn on the group. I don't know why I have this weird feeling that she will. I feel like she's going to have this thing with the rest of the party and just all of a sudden want to turn on them, and so she's going to end up dying in the process. It's that simple. I don't think she's going to make it out. Thinker. Peter Capaldi is the Thinker, and I don't think the Thinker is going to make it out. I think he's going to be really smart. I think he's going to be really pivotal in a lot of things, but I think when it comes down to a straight-up fight or when things go crazy, I don't think the Thinker is going to make it out of this. I said the word think too many times, but yeah, the Thinker I don't think is going to make it out of this one. Think on that one. Surya. I hope I'm pronouncing that one correctly. I know nothing about this character. In fact, I just looked her up right before this, and obviously because some people have seen this movie, I wanted to really skim stuff and not dig too much, and I heard about a character named Surya, but that isn't Surya unless it is. I don't know. I have read that she has a connection with Rick Flags. I think that she's not going to make it. My personal hunch is that she's going to have a connection with Rick Flag. She doesn't make it. Rick Flag gets really sad about it. I'm making this sound like a really boring movie when I put it like that, but that's my own prediction on that one. I don't think Surya is going to make it. Blackguard. Pete Davidson's not making it out of this movie. I think Pete Davidson's the kind of guy that would find it really funny to die in a movie like this. Blackguard exists in the comics to die very quickly. I think Blackguard's going to die pretty quickly in this. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe we have a Pete Davidson starring Blackguard movie coming in 2024. But I doubt it. I think this is the end of Blackguard. TDK. Another connection. Nathan Fillion and James Gunn work together a lot. And TDK, who I'm pretty sure is another character called Arm Fall Off Boy. Look him up really quickly and come back. He's not making it out. I know that James Gunn is not going to have Nathan Fillion make it out of this. He's dead. He's the first one dead. Weasel. On the contrary, James Gunn's brother Sean Gunn is Weasel. And Weasel is going to make it out of this one. I think Weasel is weird and gross and creepy. And I think that James Gunn thinks it's funny that he's weird and gross and creepy. And so we're going to see as much weird and gross and creepy Weasel as we can. Ergo, Weasel's going to make it out. Captain Boomerang. is another character that is absolutely going to make it out of this one. Being a long-running member of the Suicide Squad, probably the second most prominent member behind Harley Quinn. He is synonymous with this group. I don't think they're going to kill him off. If they ever make a third Suicide Squad movie that's not a numbered movie and it's just called Suicide Squad again, I'm pretty sure they're going to have him back in that one too, because why wouldn't you have Boomy in all of this? And more Captain Boomerang, he's going to be there. He's going to stick around. Captain Boomerang is going to make it out. And finally, Peacemaker. John Cena's character has a show coming up. However, that show is a prequel. So, just to try to avoid anything like, oh, will he make it, will he won't make it, I think that Peacemaker, I don't know. I had a lot of questions about this one as well. I feel like I'm as tossed on this one as I was about Harley Quinn. Where Harley Quinn, I had a much more heavy heart saying she would, because we have character development and everything with her. Peacemaker is one of those things where I feel like they really could push him to be a big character in the DCU going forward. I'm gonna go out on a limb. I'm gonna say he does make it out. I'm gonna say with him having a show, I have a feeling that they're not gonna want to make a prequel show to someone that everyone knows is just gonna die soon. So I'm going to say that Peacemaker does make it out. Here are my predictions. So my final squad would then be Peacemaker, Captain Boomerang, Weasel, King Shark, Ratcatcher 2, Polkadot Man, Rick Flag, and Amanda Waller. And the ones that aren't going to make it out of this film are Savant, Javelin, Harley Quinn, Bloodsport, Mongul, Thinker, Surya, Blackguard, and TDK. Those are my predictions. Let me know what you guys have predicted, unless you've seen the movie, and then shut up about it for the next couple weeks until I've seen the movie and you see a soft score on it, then you'll know I've seen the movie. I'm very much looking forward to this. This is one of my most anticipated movies of the year by a good margin, and I can't wait to talk about it with you guys. And please let me know again who you think will make it, who's your favorite character, if you've seen it already. And yeah, like this if you like this, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you at some point.